We see the incumbents in the fintech companies evolving in two different ways. First of all, with the greater use of APIs and the PSD2 coming down the road, I think the days of the single shop for all your banking requirements are behind us. I think that there'll be more and more usage of individual best-of-breed suppliers for the individual requirements that each retail banking user has. So you may use 2 or 3 different current accounts with major banks. You may use companies such as Landbay for investing through peer-to-peer loans, and link up with the many different currency and FX providers out there, and have that consolidated all in one place by the various different consolidation platforms that are out there. So really a modular banking world. However, I think partnerships are not all just about the incumbent players in the finance space and the new fintechs. It's a much wider view than that. So, for example, Landbay recently introduced a partnership with Zoopla, the UK's largest property website, who invested into Landbay, and we've worked together with them to launch Zoopla Invest. So on the main Zoopla website, you get a view of, you can buy a house, you can rent a house, or you can invest, and when you invest you come through to Landbay for the property there. So I think we're going to see more and more of those sorts of partnerships coming out as well. I think there are more and more people interested in becoming part of the fintech movement that's happening at the moment. As such, attracting talent to fintech is reasonably simple. People are very keen to get involved, and there are some very, very interesting technical, marketing, business model challenges to address. However, it is very different working in a fintech from a big institution. I spent 20 years, 15 at JP Morgan and 5 at Macquarie Group, whereas running very large teams. Now, the whole of Landbay is 22 people. So you end up having a much, much wider remit and role and job description, which makes it extremely interesting every day. With all the recent political changes, we've seen enormous amounts of volatility recently. So equity markets have gone up and down, currency markets fluctuating wildly, and bond yields increasing. And through that, I think that retail investors are really looking for some solid investments to make. And what we've seen is peer-to-peer through that tumultuous time has provided solid, flat returns all the way through at the rates in which they're offering on the platforms. So when you look at something like the AltFi peer-to-peer index, you're seeing that they get consistent returns, which is doing very well in this extremely volatile world today. So for Landbay in 2017, we've got some very exciting things coming up. Obviously, we'll be building on top of our Zoopla partnership, and we see that expanding rapidly. And one of the main ways in that's going to be expanding is with the launch of the Innovative Finance ISA. So the Innovative Finance ISA was created last year, and authorized peer-to-peer platforms are going to be able to provide Innovative Finance ISAs out to the retail community now, as soon as they're authorized. And that's a huge market for peer-to-peer. So last year, 79 billion was invested in ISAs across the group, and there's a 480 billion of legacy ISAs out there earning very little rates if they're in the cash ISA product. So we see that if even a small proportion of that moves into the peer-to-peer market, it could be a game changer for the industry.